I'm going to review the infant lesson plan assignment. First thing I'd like for you to do is to have the required format in front of you, which is found under the course menu. When we look at the first page of the lesson plan, you're going to note that you're going to indicate an age grouping from the developmental milestone checklist that you've been using for the observations. You're designing a lesson plan for an individual infant within one of those age groupings. Once you've decided on the age, then you're going to move down to the next portion of the plan. You'll notice that each of the developmental domains are listed on the form provided. You're going to choose 2 milestones under each of the domains. You're going to use those developmental milestones to plan the rest of your lesson plan. Going on to the next portion, you're going to note that you're planning activities, songs, etc. The first portion is songs, finger plays, and music. You're going to see that you plan different activities, different materials that would fit within this category. Out beside it, you're going to indicate which of the developmental milestone from the checklist those are going to meet based on the first portion, and then you're also going to evaluate using the early learning guidelines. Remember, for the milestones and for the early learning guidelines, you're going to have more than one milestone, most likely, and you're going to have several of the early learning guidelines, concept areas, and standards that it's going to meet. You can look at the example that I've provided that has the different types of materials and activities. The next is stories and books. You're going to list specific books by title and author, and again, you're going to then evaluate telling me which of the early learning guidelines, concept areas, and standards are met, and also the developmental milestones. The responsive interactions and activities going to refer to those types of what we typically think of daily activities, possibly like diaper changing, mealtime, etc. How are you going to use those types of times during the day to interact with the children, helping with their language, helping with their development? You're also then going to, the next portion is where it has the toys, materials, and equipment. Those are the materials and equipment you're either going to have accessible out for the children all the time, or you possibly would bring out for specific times of the day. The last portion of it is the area where you're going to indicate how you're going to involve the families in the lesson planning activities. When you say how you're going to involve parents in the daily activities or times of the child's growth and development, it's going to be more than just telling them when they ate, how many diaper changes they've had, what their mood was like during the day. Yes, you share those types of information, but you're also going to indicate things like conferencing with them to get their feedback as to setting goals for the children, how you're going to include them in the way that you're going to move forward with the child. As with any assignment, if you have any questions or need more explanation, please feel free to either call or email me. If you're in the Stillwater area, of course, you can come by my office.